can still do most of the stuff. They can still coordinate in a very efficient manner. And how do they do so? They use movements to do that. Plants show certain movements. Now, don't compare it with humans because plants are very different organisms. So they do show movements. Now, in the terms of plants, there are two types of movements that you can find. The first one is the growth dependent movement, and the next one is the growth independent movement. You can also call them as growth related or growth like not related to the growth kind of movements. Now, the plants, they use electrical chemical means to convey the stimulus information from cell to cell. Just like how we have chemical impulses, chemical signal, electrical impulses, right? Same way, the plants have a combination of them both. Electrical chemical means they use it. And why do they use it? They use it so that the stimulus that they have received can be transmitted all over their body, meaning from cell to cell to cell. The first one that we are going to talk about is a very small unit about the growth independent movements. Now see, growth independent movements, you can also call them as nastic movements. Nastic movements. Now these are the movements that are shown by the plants which are not related to the growth at all. So that is why it is growth independent movement. We call them as nastic movements. Now what happens? They mostly occur in the you can say as a response to the stimulus that has been provided by the environment. Okay, and for example, if we talk about humans only, right? So if someone pats on someone's back, that person will turn behind that person, right? Meaning the response is made towards the stimulus, isn't it? Towards the stimulus. But here, the response or the direction where the response is being made, it is not dependent on the direction from where the stimulus has been provided. Meaning it doesn't mean that, okay, if you are like opening it, then the person would have to just, you can say, just like how if a person, you pat on someone's back, that person turns towards you, right? That is a very like the response towards the stimulus, isn't it? You call someone's name and that person comes to you, right? All of these are the kinds of stimulus that are provided and the responses are in the direction of the stimulus. Now, all like, have you people heard about this thing, touch me not plan? Everyone has heard about it? So what happens when you touch a touch me not plant? It says touch me not, then why do you people touch it? Why do you people touch it?
It's
Okay, that I understand. But why do you touch it? It says touch me not. It clearly says like
Well,
no
it's
need to
satisfying
touch.
to touch it when it is crowded. That's why.
Yeah. So whenever you touch a touch me not plant, what it does, it curls its leaves away, right? It folds itself. It's like it is the most anti-social plant in the world, isn't it? It's like, no, I don't want to interact with you at all, right? So this is the greatest example that you can use whenever you talk about the nastic movement, meaning the movement in the touch me not plant is not towards the external stimuli, meaning the external stimuli is you touching it, the touch is the stimulus. Now, had it towards the movement, so if you touched it, it will maybe bloom towards you, right? Or it will maybe open towards you, but what it is doing, it is closing from you, right? So this kind of response is not in the direction of the stimulus, the touch that has been provided to it. So this kind of movement is what we call as a nastic movement. And remember, students, that the name or the scientific name of a touch me not plant is Mimosa pudica. Okay, Mimosa pudica is the scientific name of the touch me not plant. Now, see, since the stimulus that is being provided is a touch, right? And whenever we talk about touch, we say thigmo, isn't it? Thigmo is the term we use for the touch, if it is a stimuli. So all those kind of nastic movements that you can see with the help of a stimulus, that is touch, that is thigmonastic movement. Clear to you all? Not thigmonasty, it is thigmonastic movement. This phenomena is also thigmonasty, but you will say, because we're talking about the movement of the plant that is happening, so this is it. Any doubts in this? This whole entire growth independent movement is clear to you all?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, very good. Now comes the growth related movements. Now you can call them as growth related movements, growth dependent movements, meaning here whatever response will be provided, it will be mostly like dependent or in the direction of from where the stimulus is coming. Okay. The other name for the growth related movement in plants is the tropic movements. Okay. Just like how that was nastic, this is tropic. Now, these movements occur in response to external environmental stimuli, and the direction of the response is dependent on the direction of the stimulus. Now, how many of you have seen a climber plant? A climber. You people know what climbers are? All right. So, for example, there is a plant that is very weak. We usually call weaker plants as climbers. Now, why they are called as climbers? You see, if you plant a plant that is very weak, okay, and then you provide it with a fence. This is the plant, this is the fence. Anything, a stick or a fence or a gate, anything, you provide it with some sort of support. So now what that weak plant will do, with the help of its tendrils, it will start wrapping around the support that you have provided. So this support that you provided, it was the stimulus that you're providing it, isn't it? It is a stimulus, right? The plant is touching it. And as a stimulus, it starts getting wrapped around it for the purpose of support. So now, is the response of a plant towards the stimulus or away from the stimulus?
Towards.
Towards the stimulus, right? So this is what happens. For example, the pea plant, they climb up upon another plants or fences with the help of their tendrils. You might have seen these spring-like structures coming out of plants. Mostly it is hanging from the stem. Everyone has seen the spring-like structure. Yeah. So these are the tendrils of the plant, and they are very sensitive to touch, extremely. So like even if you put anything, you'll take your pen, you put it like you put it in the soil, the tendril will wrap around your pen also. So it does not require any fancy thing. It just requires a support, so that it, with the help of that support, it can stand erect, or else it will be fallen on the ground only, because it is a weak plant. Okay, a creeper. Now, the movements or the tropic movements, they are directional movements. Okay, they are directional. Now, their direction can be positive or their direction can be negative. So, positive and negative are the two aspects of tropic movements. Okay, students? Now, you people can note down till here, then we'll move forward. Also, tell me, what is the last thing you people note down in your notebook?
We wrote the uses of abscisic acid.
All right. Okay, so you have to start from here. All right, now you people can note this particular thing down.
Done.
Everyone's done?
Wait, give me some more time. I'm still doing
Okay.
it.
It's all right. Yeah, you people can take your time. Done?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Done.
All of you are done? Students, all of you are done?
Yes.
Ma'am, can you please explain? I have a doubt.
Which one?
Ma'am, I have a doubt.
Hmm.
Ma'am, did you explain the positive and negative movements?
Yeah,
Because
we'll
I didn't
see it
understand.
with the examples. We'll see it with the examples so you'll understand it better. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Done.
Everyone's done? All of you are done, students? Yes or no?
Yes.
Hmm? What did you say, Aisha?
That's
All right. Okay. So, okay, come back. Come back, everyone. Now let us talk about how the directional or the tropic movements can be positive or they can be negative. We're going to see that. Now see, whenever the tropic movement would be like the response, right? The movement is the response of the plant. So whenever that response would be towards the provided stimulus, then we'll call it as a positive tropic movement. And when the response would be away from the stimulus, we'll call it as the negative tropic movement. I'll give you the most simple, you can say simplest example ever to explain this particular thing. See, if we talk about a plant, for example, this is the layer of the soil. Clear? You put a seed here, right? And then this seed germinated. Now, this is the stem and the roots would be here. Now tell me, is there any exception to this? Like the roots, where would they grow? Would they grow downwards or would they grow upwards?
down.
Downwards. Okay. Now, is there any stem that grows downwards?
No.
No. Okay, keep this in mind. Okay. Now, see, also one more thing, the phenomena of showing tropic movement is what we call as tropism, right? So now this tropism or the tropic movement can be of variety of things depending upon the stimulus. Phototropism, geotropism, chemotropism, hydrotropism, and pygmotropism. So phototropism, this is the first one, and this one is light dependent, right? Now coming back to this. Here is the sun. Clear? Here is the sun. The sun will shine and the whole sunlight will go everywhere, right? Now, where would the stem grow? Towards the sun or away from the sun?
Towards the sun.
Everyone agrees to that?
Yes.
What about the roots? Would they grow towards the sun or away from the sun?
Away from the sun.
You people are getting? Right? The roots will grow away from the sun. Why? Because you can't, like the roots can't grow here. The roots would grow downwards only, right? So if we talk about a plant, in terms of the light that comes from the sun, so the stem is showing positive phototropism. The stimulus is what? The stimulus is the sunlight and the movement is being shown by the stem. So the stem shows positive phototropism and the root shows negative phototropism, isn't it? This much is clear to you all? You
Yes,
getting
ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, Zainab?
Ma'am, is it compulsory that it should only be the sun's light?
No, I told you here. See, it has to be all the stimulus, and mostly plants they grow under the sunlight only, right? But
No,
apart,
like even if we use like LEDs while grow. So imagine we took a plant to test this out, and we use the LED. Will the same thing happen? Will the stem go towards where the light is,
see,
or
that
does
is what
this
I'm
only
saying.
occur?
No, that is what I'm saying. In order for a plant to grow, it requires sunlight. LED cannot suffice that. Plant can do photosynthesis under LED light. Okay. It can do photosynthesis under that, but plant can't grow without sunlight. The seed won't germinate. Okay. So for the plant to grow, you need sunlight. It is very important. Even for photosynthesis also, but you can test photosynthesis artificially through the LED bulb also. But not the growth of the plant. Okay. So light is one of the stimulus. It can be artificial light or it can be natural celestial light, right? So the tropic movement which depends on the light is phototropism. Now the tropic movement that is governed by gravity. Everyone understands what gravity is? It is the downward force, right? Which keeps us on the ground,
not to float.
Yeah.
right? Which keeps us
Keeps
on
us
the ground.
grounded on the floor.
Yes. So that if you remove gravity, all of us would be flying here and there, isn't it? So gravity. So now if you look at the same thing, the same example, and we talk in terms of gravity, now what would you call the roots? Are they negatively geotropic or positively geotropic? Talk about the roots in terms of gravity. The gravity is always applied downwards.
Negatively.
Roots are also growing downwards. So we'd say that the roots, they are positively geotropic. But when we talk about the stem in terms of gravity being the stimulus, so the gravity always works downwards, but the stem grows upwards. So we'd say that the stem is negatively geotropic. Is this concept clear to you all?
Yes.
Sure?
Yes.
All right. Very good. Okay. Now the third is chemotropism. Now chemotropism is the dependence on certain chemicals, meaning here certain chemicals are the stimuli that is provided. Then hydrotropism, water is the stimulus, and thigmotropism, touch is the stimulus. Now we are going to see the examples. The first case is of phototropism, bending of shoots towards the light. You people remember how when auxin started cell division, the plant bent towards the light? Remember that? The working of auxin? So that was positive phototropism. But bending, or you can say, we talk about growing also. So growing of the roots away from the sunlight is negative phototropism. Phototropism example is clear to every single person here? All right. Very good. What about the others? I only hear two voices. What about Mariam and
Yes,
Abdul
miss.
Kavi? Clear?
Miss, it's clear. Yes, miss.
Okay, very good. All right. Now we'll see geotropism, right? The growth of roots downwards is showing positive geotropism, and the growth of shoots upward, it's showing negative geotropism. So these are the examples that we have mentioned alongside all of the different kinds of tropic movements. Now, the third one is chemotropism. Now, have you people, I don't know, have you people ever studied about pollen germination or pollen tube? No, right?
Yes.
You have? I think you will study it in the next chapter. How do organisms reproduce? Isn't it? Anyway, see, chemotropism is when a certain chemical acts like a stimulus, and one of the greatest example is the growth of pollen tube towards the ovules. See, pollen germination happens just like this. Like pollen grain is a circular or almost like a spherical structure. Whenever it lands on the female reproductive part, a tube grows. Okay, the growth of the tube happens. And this happens because of the release of certain chemicals between the pollen and the female part of the flower. Okay, so this shows chemotropism. Okay, you don't have to worry about this because we're going to talk about this in the next chapter also. So don't worry. Just remember that the pollen tube growth is the example of chemotropism. Clear? Just learn the example. You will understand it much better when you learn the chapter. Clear? All right. Now, okay. Now, when we talk about, you people remember the example of nastic movement? What was the example of nastic movement? Quickly. Say, I just told you. Why do you touch the touch me not plant? Remember? That was the example of
Mimosa
tropic
pudica.
Mimosa pudica, right? And then what? Give me any one example of tropic mood. Anyone? You people just studied it. Anyone? Where are you
Pea
looking?
plant.
You haven't, huh? Pea plant. Okay. Okay, pea plant. All right. Now, if you compare Mimosa pudica, or like not only pea plant, but also the growth of the plant in terms of the stem length, right? Keep that in mind also. Now, if you compare the movement shown by Mimosa pudica and the growth of the plant or the wrapping of the tendril around the fence or a support, which one do you think is faster, nastic or tropic?
Tropic.
How?
I don't know.
For example,
It
if
just
you
sounds right.
guys, it sounds like, think of the examples. That is why I'm saying, all of you, think about the examples that I'm saying. You have Mimosa pudica, that is touch me not plant. And then you have a plant that is growing towards the sunlight or a climber. Which one will show a faster movement?
Is it tropic because it receives sunlight all the time? So it's consistently
Okay,
working.
okay. Who else? Which one would show faster movement? Students, you're not getting what I'm saying, isn't it?
I think so. Touch me not
Touch me not. Why? Explain.
because
Because you can explain it in your own way. It doesn't have to be right. I am here to tell you the right answer. See,
because it's towards the stimulus.
no, it's not towards the stimulus. It's away from the stimulus. That's the whole thing. See, it's not away, far, or towards. It doesn't matter. I'm talking about the speed. Okay, now let us, for all of you who are saying tropic movement. Okay, so I told you, okay, I'll tell you, students, here is a seed. You take the seeds and you plant it. Okay, I want to see the tropic movement. I want to see the roots grow and I want to see the stem grow. How long will it take me to see it actually growing? One day or immediately that will happen? It will take me weeks. I went to a touch me not plant. I touched it. It immediately folded, showed me a response. So which one is faster? The one that is going to take weeks and weeks, or the one that showed me then
Mimosa
and
pudica.
there? Right? So always remember that the nastic movements will be faster as compared to the tropic movement. Did you people get it?
Yeah.
Isn't it cool? See, that is what I was saying. You people, you have the examples right there in front of you. Right? Mimosa shows the response quickly. It isn't very quick, but it is then and then. You can actually observe it. But you can't see the stem grow. You'll get bored. You'll sleep and the stem will grow. So you can't see it grow and it is slower. So always remember that the growth independent movement, that are dynastic movements, they are faster as you compare, like if you compare it with the growth related movements. Meaning, let's just see an example. The movement of sensitive plant to touch is very quick, whereas the movement of sunflower in day or night is slower. The growth of stem is slower. The growth of root towards the gravity is slower. So tropic movements will be much, much slower. Nastic movements will be much, much faster. Okay? Any doubts?
No.
All right, very good. Now you people have a tiny homework that I'm giving you. You have to, like each one of you will search one example of nastic movement and any example of a tropic movement other than the ones that I have told you about. Okay, one nastic movement example and one tropic. So no Mimosa pudica, apart from that, any other. Clear? So actually with this, we have completed the chapter. The only thing that there is left is for you people to take down the notes, but the time is not there for today. So we'll do it in the next class. But tell me if you have any doubts related to this particular topic. It is clear, right? Okay,
Yeah.
very good. And now you people tell me, what is your favorite flower? What's your favorite flower, students?
Lavender.
Lavender. Okay. And somebody else's? Zainab, you tell me your favorite flower. You people have a favorite flower, right? Or no? You don't?
No.
No. Okay. Junaid, do you have a favorite flower?
No, I don't have a favorite
No.
plant.
What about Maria? Mariam has a favorite flower? No.
Yes, sir.
Do you have a favorite flower?
Favorite flower?
Hmm.
Yes, I do.
Which one?
I like lavender.
Oh, you also like lavender. This Mariam likes sunflower.
Oh, I don't like sunflower.
Okay, good to know. Thank you very much for letting me know that. All right, students. So with this, we have actually completed the chapter. So kudos to us. Now in the next class, I'll give you people time to take these notes down. And if just in case you people have any doubts in the whole entire chapter, we can do a quick revision, a quick rundown also. And if you don't have a doubt, we'll start a new chapter in the next class. Okay.
Okay,
So
ma'am.
I'll see you in the next class, students. Okay. Till then, study
Okay,
very
thank you,
well
ma'am.
and find the examples. Good night, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.